And then I had a bank president. There was a bank here in those days called the Union Bank. And our church kept our money in that bank because I was acquainted with some of the men who started it, stockholders in it, like Stanley McCutcheon and some other guys I knew. And president of that bank, I tried to witness to him, and he would always get too busy to listen to me. He didn't have time to listen to me. So I kept trying anyway down through the years. And finally, one day, Stan McCutcheon called me and said, "You know, our friend is over in the hospital, Andy Hassman. You know, he has diabetes." I said, "No, I didn't know." "Yeah, he's been taking insulin for years. And he's in the last stages of diabetes. His legs are all broken out in the ulcers. He's in the hospital. Doctors say he may never leave the hospital. I wish you'd go see Andy." Well, I went over there. I went in his room. I said, "Andy, now you've always been too busy to listen to me. You wouldn't let me talk to you about Jesus. Now you can't get away from me. I'm going to tell you about Jesus." And I proceeded to do so and told him he needed to be saved and told him how he could be saved. Asked him if he wanted to be saved. And he said, "Yes, I do." And Andy trusted the Lord there in the hospital. Well, that was a blessing. 2 days later, I went off to the hospital, thought I'd visit Andy again. He was all dressed up with a big smile on his face, walking down the corridor of the hospital. I said, "Andy, where are you going?" He said, "They said I can go home." They said, "Nothing wrong with me." And Andy went home. He came to church the next Sunday morning. Well, he said, "Griff, the only thing I hate about it is I wasted 58 years of my life before I ever paid any attention to my God." A few days later, I saw Andy. Andy said, "You know, Griff, I haven't got diabetes anymore." So they told me that there's no sign of diabetes in me. I don't have to take insulin anymore. Don't have to take any of that stuff anymore. Well, I'm not a healer, but I did see a man that was getting ready to die trust Jesus Christ, and the Lord healed him at the same time. So God can perform miracles. The greatest miracle, of course, is when anybody gets saved, but things like that happen from time to time, which make us rejoice and thank God and see the hand of God working in the lives of people and in the bodies of people too. I've had 3 experiences in my ministry like that, just 3, where God healed people whom the doctors said would never recover. Another was a little girl named Patty Allen who got scalded, and another was a friend of mine who's still living, is Stanley McCutcheon's wife. Stan's dead now, but she's still alive. She had a massive brain hemorrhage, and the doctor said she couldn't live, but she did. I called my church together, a few of us, and we had a prayer for her. And she got well. And 3 times in my ministry I've seen that happen, so I know God is in the business of healing people when he sees that it can be of some use and influence in their lives or in the ministry of his preacher.